dear listeners and viewers. We are still on the fight against COVID-19, and as always, I bring you amazing people who are sharing their thoughts on how they are fighting the coronavirus. I've been joined by Mr. John Dumelo, an aspiring member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, winning actor, a farmer, and a youth enthusiast. Mr. Dumelo, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm also fine, sir. Okay, so quickly, tell me, how have you been since the lockdown came, and what's your initial comments on the president lifting the lockdown?
Well, I've been okay since the whole lockdown happened. As you said previously in your introduction, I am the parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Wagon, the incoming member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon, God willing. And so I've just been doing a lot of food sharing here and there, and from bags of rice to oil to sanitizers to bags of water to soap to food stuff generally, so that people can at least have something small in their on their tables to eat.
Okay. WHO has warned that or predicted Africa is going to be the next epicenter for the virus. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know the analysis they used, or I don't know the data or the research they did to be able to reach or arrive at that conclusion. But as we speak, I don't know how that. I don't know how that would be possible. Granted that most of African countries have locked their borders, and then also, I think that the mortality rate among the ones in Africa, or those who have the virus in Africa, I think it's a bit low. So I don't know how they arrived at that, but nevertheless, they are the WHO, and we just have to live to see exactly if that happens.
I see. So let me know what three critical measures would you have taken if you were the president of Ghana at this moment?
I think initially we should have closed our border. Well, initially I would have closed the borders. Or initially, yeah, the borders should be closed. Number one. Number two, I think that the testing should be more rapid. And number three, I don't think that the lockdown that has been lifted should have happened.
Okay, so you don't buy into the idea of him lifting the lockdown?
No, I don't.
Why?
Well, of course, I don't buy it because, the cases are still rising. Just today we had about, I think, 10 new cases in Ashanti region. And to be honest, in the next coming days, so of course, there will still be a lot of, there will still be a lot of cases rising. And so I don't know why the lockdown was lifted. We should still have been in partial lockdown, or we should have increased it a bit. I mean, that is more strict, or is more strict.
It should have been a total lockdown.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that there are ways to which you can do partial lockdown. Maybe not a complete total lockdown, but if the need arises, I think that's exactly what should happen. Because if we don't want the virus to spread, the virus spreads the virus moves when we move, and so if we are still moving, the virus is going to move.
Sarkodie is one of the people who are in the news currently begging the president to allow them come back to Ghana. Would you join him beg, or what do you think?
To be honest, I really don't think there's anything wrong with him coming to Ghana, or Ghanaians outside who are quote unquote stranded coming to Ghana, as long as the airports there are opened in their countries, or wherever they are open. But the only thing is, when they come to Ghana, of course, they have to be quarantined for as long as
our airports are closed. Is it not the case?
Yeah, but our airports are closed. But I understand.
So the president should open it for them.
No, I'm not. I mean, opening it's not necessarily opening an airport, but planes can. Their planes are still landing. I mean, every day I pass and planes, but it's not as frequent as before. But I'm just saying that maybe he should consider letting Ghanaians who we know need to come back, and they have to prove that they really need to come back. They should just come back, and of course, when they come back, they should be quickly quarantined for maybe 14 or 21 days to make sure that they don't have it, and then they can be, let to go home.
I see. In your earlier submission, you spoke about you giving out food and oil and all these things. Can you kindly share with us how much is spent on the fight against COVID-19 itself?
Oh, I beg you. That one I know. I really can't quantify. I mean, I really can't.
Oh, really? So it's
I,
plenty.
no, I haven't sat down to say, oh, today I spent this on rice. Yesterday I spent this on oil. No, all I know is that I'm just doing the charity. I'm just doing charity work, and I'm just feeding the people.
Wow, I see.
Mm.
I see. So are you feeding people on UG campus as well? Because we know you to be one of people say you're now a quote unquote student of UG.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually a student of UG. Yes, I'm feeding a lot of people on campus. One the students that are left, they've contacted me. I've contacted them. I've given them some food items, and I hope that it would be okay for them to. I mean, it'll be okay to last them for some time.
I see. It was in the news over the last week that Samini is begging you not to disappoint them. What exactly is begging? What exactly is it telling you not to disappoint them on? And can you assure
Uh,
him that you are going to do the
no,
best?
I think all he was saying was that I shouldn't disappoint the youth, or I shouldn't disappoint the people who have faith in me to deliver as a politician. And of course, that's what I said. And in my other submissions, I said, failing the people is failing God. And then because I see, I mean, or failing humanity is failing God. Um, a lot of people are saying, oh, politicians are all the same, John will be just like any other politician. But I think that's a preconceived notion which is wrong. I mean, I am going to prove myself as a different politician. I'm going to prove myself that I am for the people. I mean, all politicians say they are for the people, but I think my time as a politician will be quite different from the rest.
I see. Okay. So you are promising the people you are not going to disappoint.
No,
No.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, when you say disappointment, I mean, even if you score 99 over 100, there's still a 1%. I mean, there's still a 1% marginal error, and that 1% of people will say that you failed them, but 99 will say that you have not failed them. So I'm not going to say I'm going to be 100%. I'm going to be the best politician, but
Mm,
overall, I think generally I would be a very good politician.
I see. In wrapping up, how will you rate government management of the COVID-19 in percentage?
Um, I That'll be hard to tell. It'll be hard to tell because I think in the beginning, yeah, I mean, a lot of Ghanaians were thinking that they were doing, well, but I think with the lifting of this lockdown, I think a lot of Ghanaians are a bit disappointed in them for doing that, and so it will be hard for me to read them. But I think as I'm now speaking and hearing to people, I think that a lot of Ghanaians will rate them very poorly.
So you also rate them poorly, as that some Ghanaians you think will do.
Yeah.
Wow, I see. It has been awesome speaking to you, and I'm really grateful for your time.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. I've been speaking to Mr. John Dumelo, an aspiring MP on the ticket of the opposition NDC party. I'll catch you later on another exciting interview. But for now, bye bye. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates on COVID-19 and other related issues. Thank you very much. I'm out.